Hey, this is Matt once again. What about to end of the video? There's another paid request, this time for OtakuGaming HD. Thank you so much for that. And for those that are interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, reactions, randomness, topics, whatever it may be, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And yeah, I apologize for the background noise, fans, stuff like that. Just the weather is... the weather in Texas is schizophrenic. It'll be cold one day, hot the other, rainy the other, clear skies the other. Gothika is the film today. Now this is from Dark Castle. This is a company that were releasing films I did enjoy. For example, I liked the House on Haunted Hill remake. I quite enjoyed. In 1999. 13 Ghosts, I liked. For what it was, I liked it. House of Wax, I enjoyed that one. This one, I would still say Ghost Ship is worse. But this one I was not a big fan of. It's not because of the cast. Halle Berry's the star, and she tries. Yes, she's being very hysterical, but for her character's predicament is understandable. I think Halle Berry was trying. Penélope Cruz, who's an inmate in this asylum, she's not too bad. Robert Downey Jr., of course, this would be 5 years before Iron Man came out. This is when he had his whole deal with drugs and the law, had gone to prison, was trying to make ends meet, taking whatever projects he could get. He plays an associate, another fellow doctor, working with Halle Berry. Halle Berry is a psychiatrist. Her boss is also her husband, and that's played by Charles Dutton from Alien 3, Mimic, among others. And Halle Berry's looked into Penelope Cruz's case, where Cruz says that she's been raped by the devil. So after dealing with her boss, aka her husband, Charles Dutton, she's going home. Her friend, Robert Downey Jr., takes her to her car. It's a rainy night, and she gets into a car accident. And when she gets out, she sees this lady, and it's a ghost that spits fucking fire on her. I don't know specifically why. I guess you're supposed to... Later on, they kind of tell you why. Not kind of, they do. They do tell you why. It's just so fucking stupid to me that I just want to wipe it from my brain. And here's the thing. The idea of a psychiatrist getting into a car accident, then waking up and she's in her own asylum, that could create a cool, interesting mystery thriller. Doesn't have to be psychological, because not just, oh, she's crazy and that's what it is. But a mystery thriller, if done the right way, could potentially be interesting. But instead, they throw in this supernatural stuff that I don't think was needed in this. It was done because films like The Ring were big hits, The Ring remake, and the ghosts act so ridiculous. Because yeah, I get it. Coming up is a review that Gunno requested of Stir of Echoes. Much better ghost story than this. And yeah, with any ghost story, there's things you gotta give leeway on, logic-wise. Why doesn't the ghost do this instead of that? With every ghost that wants someone to help them, why don't they just get a piece of paper and write down every fucking thing? Here's a piece of paper. This is what happened. This is what I need you to do. This is where my body's at. Boom. Why doesn't the ghost just get a fucking pen and write da 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 da? I don't know. So there's always leeway. There's always a bit of rubber band reality leniency you have to give to a ghost story. But this takes it too far. Where it's a lot of cheap jump scares or cheap scares. There's a lot of stuff when you think about it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Robert Downey Jr. is very underutilized because he's a good actor. But he's not used except maybe a little bit of a red herring, and even then I never even felt that much of him being a red herring. But they try a little bit of it, and even that doesn't really go anywhere. Is that like Downey Jr. helps a lot at the end, or he's experiencing the ghost issues as well, and they're together? No, it's like I said, Downey Jr. is pretty underused. There's some CG fire used, especially in the finale, that is some of the worst CGI fire I've ever seen in a movie. I kid you not. Some of the worst fucking CGI fire ever. There's a line at the end where Halle Berry says logic is overrated. And I'm like, yeah, because if you try to... It's a bad line to showcase with this kind of movie. I mean, fuck, one of the best parts of the film is the goddamn song at the end by Limp Bizkit called Behind Blue Eyes. Although I like Limp Bizkit, so I don't know why I say that as a bad thing. I like Limp Bizkit, but this is like more of a serious... You don't know what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man, behind blue eyes. I actually like that song. And Halle Berry, she's trying. But, why does a ghost that wants her help... I gotta go into spoilers to explain this. You find out that Halle Berry's husband, Charles Dutton, has been killed with an axe. You find out that Halle Berry did this. And apparently, I guess, throughout her being arrested... I would assume there was a trial. All this time she was possessed in a trance. Because the only thing she remembers is the accident, then jump to her in an asylum. I have to think, there must have been a lot of shit. Getting arrested, getting booked, getting put in jail, the time into look into this and that. Wouldn't there be some kind of trial? Or no? I guess maybe there wasn't a trial, just boop. You go right into the asylum? I mean... And then this ghost, you find out that Charles Dutton made snuff films, and then also that he had a partner doing it, and that partner is also the sheriff, who would also break into the asylum to rape Penélope Cruz's character. And the reason the ghost is on fire is because, well, the guy's tattoo had a figure that was on fire. And I'm like, so why didn't the ghost try to possess Charles S. Dutton? Why did the ghost decide to torture Halle Berry, and you want her to help you stop all this jazz? Like, okay, you possessed her to kill the husband, but then I guess you also want the partner in crime. But then there's a point that you're throwing Halle Berry against the wall, ready to kill her. Like, I'm like, so, Ghost, what the fuck is your major malfunction? You want her help, but you're just like, bah, bah, bah. Like, if you want her help, putting her in a fucking asylum that no one's going to believe in her, is that really the best fucking plan, isn't it, Mrs. Ghost? I'm going to possess this lady to chop up one of the guys who killed me, but there's another guy who killed me. Why didn't you possess, I don't know, Penélope Cruz then? If she's the one getting raped by this guy, possess her and then she fucking kills the guy. Or... And why didn't you try to attack... You're attacking Halle Berry. Why don't you try to attack, and like you can open cell doors and you can do all this other physical stuff. Why don't you try to attack the sheriff guy? Why don't you grab him and bang him around? Bang him up, bang him down. Why don't you do any of this shit? Why don't you possess the guy and have him cut himself? Why don't you do any of this stuff, Mrs. Ghost? That's the thing, when you employ some of these tactics to try to be stylistic, it just creates more fucking issues and questions. Even like, say, The Changeling. It starts off simple. It starts off, here's a fucking ball going down the steps. I need to talk to you. And then when finally at the end it comes to fruition, then the ghost is a bit more pissed, and it's on fire, and the chandelier's on fire, and I don't think it falls because of the ghost. It falls because everything's on fucking fire, because this fucking thing is pissed and ready to... And it just creates questions like, why is the ghost trying to kill Halle Berry by slamming her if it needs her help? Why, when Halle Berry is hiding underwater, why does the ghost scare her where she could have fucking drowned? It makes this ghost an asshole. It makes me not feel sympathy for you and what happened to you because you're being a fucking asshole. Getting this innocent woman who did nothing to you, did nothing wrong. You almost drowned her ass. You almost did all these other... Even the initial car accident could have fucking killed her. The car accident could have killed her. You're just lucky Halle Berry has more lives than the video game character. And, if there's security cameras that are on Halle Berry, right? Because that's how the orderlies see that she's being slammed in her cell. And she's being thrown about like this, and they say, she's trying to kill herself. They see it on their screen. You're telling me they have cameras in each of these cells? What about the cell that Penelope Cruz is getting butt-fucked and raped again and again? Wouldn't you think, okay, this girl got attacked in her cell. Maybe, I guess Charles Dutton helped the sheriff get the footage. I guess that's why. But then, like, why would it be like, you know what? Don't bother with my fucking asylum. Find someone. I guess Charles Dutton let him in. Why don't you do it in your fucking snuff film jamboree? Why take the risk in a fucking asylum to do that? I don't... Why is it when Halle Berry's trying to escape, she hides, and there's a guard, and the guard looks down at her and lies and helps her escape? Why does the guard do that? You don't know who this lady is, and if you did, she's been accused of killing her husband with an axe. But you let her escape. Why? Because the movie says so. Because the movie told us it needs to happen, otherwise we can't go on. Why does she get in her car and there's no brakes in the car? Did the ghost do that? But don't you want her alive? If the ghost didn't do that, why the fuck does this car not have brakes? Was that ever established before that this car doesn't have brakes? Or again, if the ghost did that, don't you want Halle Berry alive? Why are you trying to kill her, but you want her help? It's like, fuck you then, ghost. Do the shit yourself. And you get stupid lines like, I'm not deluded, I'm possessed. And Robert Downey Jr. is just there for the paycheck. Because he had to take paychecks. Because he fucked up his reputation with all the shenanigans of drugs and wandering to people's homes and sleeping in their beds and all the hijinks of that. And it's like the whole bit of maybe Halle Berry liked him and he liked her, that went fucking nowhere. That possible maybe love story, that went fucking nowhere. It led to nowhere. It led to nothing. You could take Robert Downey Jr.'s character out and nothing would really change. It could have been just a regular doctor that goes in, tells her what she did. Again, it's there. Maybe it's just a red herring. That's it. It's a waste of Robert Downey Jr.'s time. And, okay, speaking of going back to the footage, wouldn't someone, an orderly, what if an orderly saw that, if they're checking the cameras, what if they saw the sheriff raping Penelope Cruz's character? You just say that Charles Dutton, who's the head of this place, doctored it afterward, or got rid of it afterward. What, but did Charles Dutton, yeah, this monitor is out. And then people go, wait a minute, the monitor that was out is the same one where Penelope Cruz got attacked and said she was raped. There's no questions on that. You're not supposed to fucking give a shit, apparently. Because Halle Berry escapes from the asylum, goes to do some Nancy Drew shit. Earlier in the film, in the shower, she was made to write "not alone." And then they said, you did it yourself. What if someone else did it? By the way, don't you wonder how someone got we don't know how she got this. Well, how you know someone didn't do it to her? It's a fucking asylum. But it says "not alone." That's a stupid fucking thing to put anyway. Why didn't the ghost say the place where... Because Halle Berry has to figure out that, wait, Charles Dunn used to go to this place. Was it Willow Creek? I forget the name of it. Goes there, and that's where... Why didn't the ghost write that name of that place? Name of that location? And she looks at it. Instead, "not alone." It's to be absolutely fucking vague so that the movie isn't 20 minutes long. Because logic is overrated. And the thing is, it's not scary. Okay, positives. He mentioned Halle Berry. I do like the song at the end credits. The director is the same guy who did The Crimson Rivers, which is a much better movie than this, with Jean Reno. And that's why one of the reasons, not the only reason, one of the reasons he did not do The Crimson Rivers 2. Which I like that movie more than this. And that movie's if you look... That movie doesn't have a lot of logic as well, but that movie's more entertaining. This movie, if you like cheap jump scares, Halle Berry being hysterical, there's some decent stylistic lighting, trying to be spooky with the rain and the darkness, but to me it was not enough to overcome a story that I just didn't give a rat's ass about. Again, the initial idea, what if you're a psychiatrist, you wake up and you're trapped in your own asylum? And it's a mystery of, well, if it was well written from the inside, and Robert Downey Jr. looking for clues, and maybe that could be more interesting. Not just bad fucking CGI fire and cheap jump scares and 30 questions. Well, why did this guard just let this mental patient go? Because he didn't... Maybe he read the script. That's what it... He found a script and he read it. And went, oh yeah. That's what happened. Okay. Go. What the fuck? And... Then she goes to where Charles Dutton used to stay. That's where she finds snuff films. That's where... How did... A cop just happens to be there. Why? How the hell did a cop know to be there? Was it luck? As soon as she gets there, then a random cop is there. How did they know? How did cops know that's where she would go? How did they know? They just fucking knew. Super cop. And they find a person trapped there. And that's where they find out what Charles Dutton did. And then the sheriff, or I keep saying sheriff. I don't know if he was the fucking sheriff. One of our main cops. He pretty much might as well just put "I'm a killer" tattooed on his forehead. Because he talks to Halle Berry, listens to her, and pretty much gives himself away. I'm like, wow. You'd be shit at playing poker. You're the worst poker player. Go play some poker jamboree instead of playing poker. You have no poker face. Too busy poking your wife. Fuck. And then leads to the guy trying to kill Halle Berry. And he took his fucking shirt off. And then he shoots, but it's at the ghost. Halle Berry hits him. At one point, he gets on fire. Again, the worst CGI fire I have ever seen in a movie. And that's where Halle Berry says logic is overrated. And then Robert Downey Jr. gets there. And then Halle Berry and Penelope Cruz are free. I'm like, but didn't Halle Berry still, in their eyes, she did, till she was possessed, she did chop up her husband. Granted, the husband you found out worked in snuff films and there are other extenuating circumstances, but I don't know if she'd be just let out of the fucking... And the fact is, you don't know how much time has passed. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. She's not with Downey Jr. She just says bye to Penelope Cruz. Then she sees the ghost of a kid and walks away. Is she going to be the ghost whisperer? Did Jennifer Love Hewitt take her job for the TV show? I don't fucking know. I was not a fan of Gothika. I know there are people that liked it. It's a 5.8 on IMDb. I think it's way too damn high to my liking. I liked House of Wax. And yeah, logic did have issues, but this was... I didn't find it that entertaining. I didn't find it that scary. Like I said, cheap jump scares. Bad CG on the fight. Enough story that just went, what? That reaction, what? If I want to watch Halle Berry, I'll go watch Kidnap. I'll go watch other stuff. This, not so much. If you like Gothika, cool. Cool beans. It's just not for me. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.